In the 13th century, a mythological text claimed the Norse god Woden, better known as Odin, was actually a human leader. He supposedly commanded a massive migration out of Asia, eventually settling his people in Scandinavia. For a long time, historians dismissed that idea entirely. The consensus was that early Scandinavia was a geographic dead end, isolated, freezing, and sealed off. The standard historical model treated the region as a place that only exported people. During the Viking Age, residents supposedly left in droves to raid and trade, but nobody was migrating in. But researchers eventually had to ask if Northern Europe was actually a closed loop, or if it was receiving long-distance travelers of its own. To answer that, we have to put down the written histories and look at the biological record preserved in ancient bones. The first major piece of evidence arrived in a 2018 study. Researchers sequenced the DNA of ancient individuals recovered from burial sites in Finland and Western Russia. This autop of Eurasia visualizes their core finding. Siberian genetic ancestry flowed steadily westward into the Fennoscandian Peninsula at least 3,500 years ago. As it arrived, it had mixed with the locals, settling into modern northern territories and Uralic-speaking populations. The study identified the Sami people as a direct, surviving link to that ancient eastern migration. The genetic landscape of the north was clearly active, shaped by thousands of years of continuous contact with the east. Jumping forward to the early medieval period, a massive 2020 sequencing project pulled data from hundreds of Viking Age genomes. The sheer volume of this genomic data confirmed that Scandinavia was taking in a heavy influx of newcomers. The Baltic Sea island of Gotland serves as a prime example of this activity. The genetic signatures on the island show a measurable, distinct flow of southern and eastern European ancestry converging in one place. The Viking homeland functioned as a porous, cosmopolitan intersection of cultures. Spotting the exact timeline of these migrations used to be incredibly difficult. Subtle, recent genetic shifts between closely related groups often blended together, remaining invisible to scientists. A 2025 computational tool called TwigStats solved that problem. It isolates recent, time-stratified coalescences in gene trees, pulling hidden ancestries into sharp focus. This map plots the tool's major discovery: a previously undetected wave of Central European and Eastern Baltic ancestry flowed directly into Denmark and southern Sweden. Tracing the timeline, the ancestry shift locks in immediately after 500 CE, right in the early medieval period. A shift this large requires generations of intermarriages, shifting political alliances, and steady, persistent travel. Stacking these three timelines onto a single map shows how many distinct layers of movement defined the North. This incoming migration data runs alongside the traditional history of outward expansion, showing a region where people were arriving as often as they were leaving. Extracting DNA from ancient teeth cannot prove that a magical god named Odin walked the earth. It does prove that the highly mobile, deeply connected world described in those old legends was historically accurate. Those stories of epic migrations from the east capture the reality of real human movements, written directly into the DNA of the people who lived them.